Hi everyone, welcome to my February wrap-up. Okay, I'm so excited to do this one because actually February was a great reading month. So let's start with the book that I read first. I finished The Girl in Between by Lican Z. Kemp. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. So I finished this book in February. I was halfway through it in January and then just finished it off. Unfortunately, I didn't like it. It's so hard because the idea was really good, but unfortunately, I don't think it was written that well. There was only really 3 main characters, and I feel like you need more layers than that. Also, it lost me when it started to be not believable anymore. So that was a bit of a shame. So I read that one first. The second book that I read in February was The Graces by Law Eve. Now this book is amazing. I love it. And I cannot wait for the sequel in September. I've got to wait all the way till September, it's not fair. But this book is amazing. It's about a girl who is obsessed with a family that lives in her village called the Graces. Now the Graces remind me slightly of the Cullens from Twilight, but this is so different and so clever. The characters, every single character is great in this book. You fall in love with all of them. I would read this again because I feel like I might have missed some things and I want to know more. I just want to know more, and I'm sure there's stuff that I've missed because it's written really well. This was amazing. You have to read this. If you like fantasy, if you like romance, if you like YA, read this. This is brilliant. I actually read that book in 2 days when I was travelling, so that shows you how much I liked it and how I could not stop. So after that, I wanted to keep on the high, and I read Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. I really should research these authors' names before I say them. I read this, and this was amazing. This is a book of poetry, but it does tell you a story. It's about a breakup that goes wrong and how you deal with it and how your body repairs itself. And actually, it was brilliant. It was really good. There are a few poems in here that I've turned down the tops of the pages because I want to read them again. I want to remember them because they're so useful in everyday life. Because some of these poems in here are so lovely that you can read them just on their own. There's 4 sections in this book. Yeah, so you've got 4 sections. You've got the hurting, the loving, the breaking, and the healing. And some of them are very brutal. I felt myself really emotional with these. And the great thing about poetry is you relate it to yourself. And there are some of the poems in here I'm like, oh my god, I do that. It's just so relatable because there's no gender, there's no names, and you relate it to your own life, and I think that's lovely. Bit brutal, but lovely. So this was great. This is a quick read as well. I read this in a day. So this is, because it's only short and you've only got small poems on each one. So you can read that in a day and that is great. You have to read that. The next book that I am currently reading, I haven't actually finished it, is The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. Now this book is great. Another one that's great in February. I'm nearly finished. But I think this is fantastic. It's funny, it's believable, it's well written, the characters are great. Basically, it tells you about a boy called Mikey who lives in the universe where there's indie kids and the world explodes. Basically, it's like a superhero book, but he's not the superhero. And it's just talking about his regular life and how he gets so annoyed with all these things that's like, oh, well, this person's killed this person again, or I'll have to run away because so-and-so is going to blow up the school or whatever. And It's so funny. It's brilliant. This is the first thing I've ever read from Patrick Ness, and I cannot wait to read more of his things. I really want to read A Monster Calls. That is on my list. But I am really, really impressed with this book so far, and I can't wait to finish it. I think it's going to be great. And it has kept me going the whole way through. It's kept me on my toes. It's kept me thinking what's going to happen next. I love it. I really love it. It's great. Those are all the books that I read in the month of February, and I have to say, I've loved this reading month. I think it's been great. I happily read The Graces again, happily read Milk and Honey again, and will probably read this again at some point. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to read after The Rest of Us Just Live Here. I think I'll have a route round the bookshelf and see what I'm in the mood for. Quite a few YA and one poetry, which is fine because they've all been amazing. So that's good. Thank you for watching, guys. I will see you next time for my March. Oh my god, it's March. My March wrap up. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.